Once upon a time, in a meadow filled with vibrant flowers, a special bee was born. While every other bee in the hive had black and yellow stripes, this little one shimmered with a brilliant metallic green hue. Her name was Emerald. Emerald was excited to meet her siblings, but as soon as she left the hive, the other young bees stared at her with surprise and confusion. "Why do you look like that?" asked Buzz, a chubby little bee. Pollen giggled. "She doesn't look like a bee at all. She looks more like a fly or a frog." The other bees laughed, making Emerald feel even more out of place. Emerald flew home, her little wings buzzing softly. "Mama, why am I not black and yellow like everyone else?" she asked. Her mother stroked Emerald's head and smiled softly. "Because you are special, my dear. You were born to be different, and different is beautiful." Emerald found comfort in her best friend, Dot the ladybug. Dot was small, round, and covered in bright red wings with black spots. She was the smartest insect Emerald knew. The queen bee, wise and kind, always smiled at Emerald. "One day, little one, everyone will see how special you truly are," she said. One day, something terrible happened. The queen bee fell ill. The hive buzzed with worry, and the workers gathered around, whispering nervously. An old bee named Sage spoke up. "I've heard of a special nectar that can cure her, but it comes from a rare flower that grows high in the trees," she said. Sage continued, "The problem is, the flower is at the top of a tall tree, and a fearsome bee-eater bird lives nearby. No ordinary bee can reach it." Emerald's wings buzzed with excitement. "I can go," she said. "I'll blend in with the green leaves so the bee-eater won't see me. My tongue is long enough to reach the flower." The hive gasped, hesitant to let Emerald go. "It's too dangerous," one bee murmured. But Emerald turned to her mother. "Mama, the queen has always been kind to me. I have to try." Dot fluttered beside her, her wings buzzing fast. "I'll guide you," she promised. Together, they zipped through the meadow, past buzzing dragonflies and chirping crickets. They reached the sparkling river, and Emerald's heart raced with excitement. "It's just over the river," Dot said, pointing to the giant tree in the distance. The giant tree loomed ahead, its towering branches thick with leaves. Emerald hovered near the base, blending perfectly with the foliage. It was time. Suddenly, a sharp shadow passed overhead. The bee-eater bird soared above, its fierce eyes scanning the meadow for its next meal. Emerald held her breath, still as a leaf. The bird's sharp eyes scanned the area. For a moment, it turned away, and Emerald darted toward the tree. Emerald finally reached the orchid. Its bell-shaped petals shimmered with the promise of life-saving nectar. She could feel the warmth of the flower's sweet nectar just waiting for her. With a deep breath, Emerald stretched out her long tongue. It slid into the flower, reaching the nectar hidden deep inside. Carefully, she collected some and prepared to return. Emerald zipped back through the air, the nectar safely gathered in her tongue. Dot led the way, keeping watch for the bee-eater bird as they flew home. As they neared the hive, the first raindrops began to fall, threatening to delay their journey. But Emerald pushed forward, her wings buzzing with urgency. The cold raindrops dripped down her metallic wings, making her feel heavier, but she wouldn't stop. The queen needed the nectar. Just as they neared the hive, the bee-eater bird appeared once more, swooping down from the sky like a streak of lightning. Its sharp beak aimed directly at Emerald. She had no choice but to speed up, flapping her wings with all her strength. With a sudden burst of courage, Emerald dove sideways, narrowly missing the bird's beak. In that split second, she realized her strength. She wasn't just different. She was special in ways she never understood. Emerald and Dot raced towards the hive, the storm intensifying behind them. Emerald could feel the weight of the nectar, but she also felt the weight of her mission: to save the queen, the hive, and herself from doubt. At last, they arrived. The hive's workers buzzed in excitement as Emerald flew through the entrance. The queen, weakened but still alive, opened her eyes upon hearing the sound of her return. Emerald gently landed beside the queen. She offered the precious nectar, her heart pounding. The queen took a sip, her wings fluttering weakly as the magic of the nectar worked its wonders. The queen smiled warmly at Emerald, her once tired eyes now sparkling with renewed life. "You have saved me, little one," she whispered, "and in doing so, you have shown the hive your true strength." The bees of the hive, once doubtful of Emerald's worth, now surrounded her. They buzzed with excitement, realizing they had underestimated the courage and determination of the little green bee. Emerald realized something as she looked at her fellow bees. Being different didn't make her lesser. It made her a hero. The hive was no longer a place of whispers. It was now a place of respect for all bees, no matter their stripes or wings. From that day on, Emerald's bravery became a legend among the bees. She had not only saved the queen, but had shown everyone that true strength comes from within. And from that day forward, no one ever teased her again. She had become the hero she was always meant to be. Just as the hive settled into peace, a new storm began to brew on the horizon. Dark clouds gathered, threatening to undo the peace they had just reclaimed. But this time, Emerald didn't feel fear. She stood tall, knowing that she could face whatever came next. The queen, fully restored but still weak, called for Emerald. "The storm is unlike any we've seen," she said, her voice shaking. "It will test everything we've built. I need you to lead the hive through it." Emerald nodded, determined to prove that she was more than just a survivor. Emerald flew to the top of the hive, her wings beating strongly in the growing wind. She addressed the hive, her voice steady. "We have faced the storm before, and we will face it again. Together, we are stronger than the winds that blow against us." The workers, once fearful, now buzzed with newfound determination. The storm broke, and the winds howled through the meadow. The hive rocked with the force of the storm. Rain pelted against the hive walls, and the buzzing of the bees grew frantic. Yet Emerald remained calm, guiding the workers to safety, her wings a beacon in the chaos. As the storm passed and the clouds began to clear, a peaceful calm settled over the hive. The workers gathered together, their hearts full of gratitude for the strength Emerald had shown. The queen, now completely restored, spoke again. "You have led us through the darkest storm, Emerald. You are truly the heart of our hive." And with that, Emerald knew that she had not only saved her home, but had solidified her place in the hive forever.